Hello, my name is Quint with a Q, and how do you do? And welcome to the Windsor Video Game Show. On today's episode, I figured that we would ask a couple questions just to get to know each other better and see if you want to rock with me or not. So, with that being said, let's get at it. All right, so the first question probably is how long you been gaming? Well, I've been gaming for about 42 years, and I took a little bit of break before the 360 era, because I thought I had to be an adult and actually put away the games. But I will never do that again because I know in my heart that I'm a gamer. All right, the second question I would say is, what's the first game you ever played? And it's hard to remember because, it's been a long time. But I would have to say it was probably Asteroids in the arcade. And then probably like Pac-Man, Dig Dug, like all those classic ones. And then the next question would be, what's the last game you played? And the thing is, it's Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, because the thing is, like I said in my review before, I want to know how bad it was, because it got a 77. And the thing is, in my opinion, a Call of Duty campaign is usually like an 80. There's different levels of 80 plus, but I've never seen anything like, my personal opinion, the only one that's really disappointing was Ghosts, but it's still good. It's Call of Duty. It's a 6 to 8 hour, maybe 10-hour romp through action-packed fun. And you really can't go wrong. If that's your thing, it's your thing. It's like being a big fan of like an action movie. There's no such thing as a crappy action movie if you're into action movies. All right, so who's the first person to introduce you to video gaming at home? That would be my Uncle Jeff. He had a Atari 2600, and we played this game called Venture. Look it up. It's not much to look at, but at the time, that was the cutting edge. And the horrible thing is I played hours and hours of that stuff, and I saw it beat online in like 15 minutes. And when I saw that, I was like, I just remember that being hard as balls. But yeah, Adventure with my Uncle Jeff. All right. And then another question I probably have is, what gaming innovation would my younger self be more surprised at? And the thing is, I think you could see it coming down the pipe, but it wasn't really a big thing until the 90s. But multiplayer, like that really, like, bringing people together to play games, like that was something that we've done sitting on the couches and stuff like that. But be able to have so many people playing all at once at one time, like that's really something special. And then the second part would be the meta game of achievements. Having a game upon a game, it would be hard to explain to my little self what actually achievements are, because you'd be like, oh, it's just a check mark. No, it's actually accomplishing a game within the game. It'd probably be hard to get your head wrapped around it. All right, top 5 games. I think we'll go from 5 to 1. All right, so the first one is Pixel Junk Shooter by 11 Studios, and it's a shoot 'em up, 2-player. You also a little bit of a collectathon, has a little bit of a boss rush on it. I got it for PC, but I mainly play it with a controller. All right, and the next one would be Life is Strange. Now, it's episodic. The main character is a high school student, and it's about having powers and manipulating reality. And the thing is, I'm a big fan of story. And the thing is, this one really got to me because the thing is, the way it wraps around and the way some of the choices were presented were very, very fresh. So it really stuck with me. And Max Caulfield is like a very likable character. But yeah, not a game that people would associate with me. All right, so next one would be Uncharted 3. And the thing is, Uncharted series, really good. It's a great romp. It follows the Indiana Jones theory, which you have a little bit of mystique or magic mixed in with some plausibility. So I'm not going to give anything away, but you're in the middle of the jungle. in the first one, you see something that should not be there, but it's there and you go explore it. So it has a very Indiana Jones-ish thing. You can tell it's really inspired by it. People love the second one because of one of the action sequences at the beginning with the train. Third one, I really liked it because of when you get to a city and the skies on the PS3, it's really beautiful it's a technical achievement actually. So I really appreciate the third one, the way it went and the way it looks, the way it plays. And I'm not with the majority who say 2 is the best. I just feel 3 is my jam. All right. And then another one would be number 2 would be Super Mario World for the SNES. This one was really cool because the SNES came out 1 year before in Japan. And I used to hang out at this arcade called Game World. And Rick Rock, shout out to Rick Rock. Hopefully you're still doing well. He imported it from Toronto, which imported it from New York, which imported it over from Japan. And the thing is, we were playing this game in Japanese, like there's no words, no spoken words, but there's, text on the screen, Japanese. And the thing is, had no clue, no instruction manual whatsoever. It didn't come with just the game, the cartridge, and the actual machine. And the thing is, we had a blast with this thing. It took the Mario franchise to another level, especially with the sprite work and the bright colors and Yoshi. It just was a really refreshing drink of water. And the thing is, it was like, it's one of those games that always stuck with me because it put a smile on my face as I played it. And then, as most of my friends know, I never shut up about this game. I had to play it continuously all the way through. I think I may have stopped for like a 2-hour nap. That's about it. But The Last of Us for PlayStation 3, it's my favorite game. And without giving anything away, to me, it's about hope when you're amongst despair and finding your way and coping with your situation. And the thing is, the way the characters interact with each other, it made your heart feel good looking at it, because the thing is like it's plausible that these two characters that didn't want to be with each other were forced together and they make it work. And some of the moments in this game, you're like, wow, they really pulled off a technical achievement on a PS3. Once again, Naughty Dog. Same guys that bought you Uncharted 3. They really know their chops. I don't know if they're my favorite developer, but they have to be close. Maybe 2. I don't know. We'll get down to that later on. But the next question would be, what's your favorite gaming device? And the way I say device is because it could be a PC, it could be a phone, it could be a handheld, it could be a console, it could be a tablet these days, because gaming's like basically everywhere. And the thing is like, for me personally, I didn't jump on the first train because it was way too expensive. It was ridiculous expensive. I waited until the Slim came out, but it's PlayStation 3. And the reason why is because it brought the Blu-ray entertainment part home, and it was starting to get into that digital aspect. And the thing is, there was a lot of original franchises on there. And the thing is, it wasn't PS2 like dominant as in so many games, because it was harder to develop it for. But the thing is, the games that were on that system, they spoke to me. And I guess watching the Blu-ray movies with my friends and late nights, and also playing the games solo, getting those good stories in, it has a special place in my heart. All right, the next question would be, well, yeah, what is the most overrated gaming device? And I think it's a tie. A 3-way tie, actually. It will go to the 3DO, the Atari Jaguar, and the Philips CDI. Because the thing is, they were all overpriced. The game selection was horrible. And the thing is, the adoption was just garbage. And the thing is, with the exception of 3DO on the technical side, it really didn't bring anything to the table other than, for example, Atari's like, this is our comeback machine. And it just wasn't that way. And Philips CDI basically was a licensing deal to see if they could sell some units. It really had some horrible Zelda games on it. So it really wasn't worth your while. And the 3DO was just so outrageously priced that, you saved your money for a lot of heartache. All right. So, what was the first gaming device you bought with your own money? I was very lucky. I got spoiled as a kid. We didn't have lots, but my parents made it go a long way, and I really appreciate it. But the first gaming console that I actually purchased with my own money was Nintendo 64 with a copy of Mario 64. I used my college money to actually buy this thing. And it was like, at the time, I was like, this is not the most smartest thing. But the thing is, when you put that cartridge in and you see Mario and you interact with that wacky controller, you really felt you're living in the future. They said, it has the power of the silicon graphics computers, which were at the time the state-of-the-art computers. And the thing is like, yeah, you don't believe all the hypes, but you saw something tangible that you didn't see anywhere else. And it was kind of like one of those moments, like we were like, okay, this is the future. And I really enjoyed my time and money well spent. All right. So the next questions, well, a little uncomfortable saying this, but what devices do you own? And the thing is, let me set off the preface. I'm not rich, but the thing is, I have really good credit and I'm still making payments. So the thing is, I currently own all the current generation systems, the previous generation, and a AM4 computer. And the thing is, it was like, I like to be able to play the games for the lowest price I could possibly get. And people are like, well, it's PC up. No, I basically use my PC to play games I can't buy. And if I can't, like on the consoles, I can't buy. And if I can't buy them on the PC, unfortunately, I emulate. The thing is, I emulate more for like nostalgia per se, but as for like older games, the thing is, there's some games you can't buy like that are on Steam, and the thing is, Steam is like a way back machine. It's like if you can think about it, it more than likely there is there, and if not, then get your emulation on. And then consoles, I think thing is. Consoles are very comfortable to me because I grew up with them. And it comes down to this. If you want to play on a PC, you're sitting in a chair and you're basically upright. It's hard to sit in a chair leaned over like you're at an office desk for hours on end. But on the console part, you're basically, laid out, flopped up on the couch, and you can flip-flop all you need to get those that comfortability as you go through a couple hours of gameplay. So I am comfortable on the console. I'm not happy you have to pay for multiplayer, but on the PC part, lots of nostalgia, the highest fidelity you can get in a game if you're really like hyped for a game and you want to see with all the bells and whistles on, you just basically get that game and you're looking at something beautiful. All right. The next question. One of the things we always talk about when I talk with my older friends and my younger friends is like this divide, whether or not gaming back in the day was the best because this came out like Mario Sunshine or that came out like Last of Us. Critically acclaimed games from back in the day. And then you have the newer people that are getting all the accumulation knowledge and craftsmanship of those games into current games, but they don't play like other games. Like, for example, back in the day where there was emphasis on games with story and linearity, and now games are kind of going non-linear, open world, and then the next jump is massive online multiplayer like Fortnite. So I kind of see us going in a future where you have multiple games, sort of like a Roblox. We have multiple games online and you play subsets of those games. But the thing is, I'm getting off track, but the thing is, I think games are better now than they've ever been before. And before the old people start, throwing tomatoes at me, just hear me out. The games are more accessible because you can play anywhere you want on any hardware that you want, pretty much with crossplay. So the thing is, you don't have to have necessarily a big shiny PC or a console box. You can get in on the tablet. You can get in on the phone. The ways you play are multitude. And the thing is, with the free to play model, it's a money thing. If you can get past the cosmetic issues of looking like looking poor to your friends because you don't have all the latest skins, there's a lot of meat to that game, because the thing is, you can play on hours on end with very little money put in on the hardware you want, and that's making more people able to play, especially in today's economy. And then there's always the big fight: who won the console war? It's always going on between Nintendo, PlayStation, and that's always been like a and Xbox. It's always been an ongoing like theme within my gaming career, because I grew up on the mean streets of the playground in which people were repping their brand. And to be honest with you, when I get into those little snarky conversations with people, it's mobile. Mobile won the console war. They have the most users, they make the most revenue. They have a plethora of games that are very accessible. The people that are buying consoles, the dinosaurs like me, they're growing older and they're stopped playing, and the newer kids don't want consoles. They go from their phone or tablet and they see their favorite streamer and they want a PC. So they're making that jump. So consoles are the way of the dinosaurs. That's kind of how I grew up. So the thing is, I feel very comfortable with them. But the thing is, I can see maybe 1 or 2 generations and then it's gone. What's one thing I see in the future that's going to be big in gaming? Follow technology a lot, and there's a lot of conversation about artificial intelligence, and you're like, well, what's that have to do with gaming? If you look at the Microsoft demo for their Copilot, and in that long presentation, they had an AI assistant on an Xbox in which an individual was playing Minecraft. And in that Minecraft episode, it basically was asking, how do you make this? And the AI was making suggestions on how to do crafts. And the thing is, I think it's going to be a step further, because right now you have game accessibility with Game Pass, but I think the next level will be an actual AI that becomes your game guide, helping you get past like hard spots or dropping you hints. And then your coach, if you're playing like a multiplayer game, how to get better, hit those corners, jump, like basically addressing the fundamentals, making you a better player. And also your friend. It'll keep you up to date what's going on, chit chat with you. And the thing is, that sounds kind of like far-fetched, but if you check out the OpenAI like demos, the thing is, those things are almost creepily cognitive. And the thing is, I can see like Microsoft pushing that with the OpenAI. That's going to be a premium feature, because a lot of people are rolling alone, and just to have that interaction, even if it's not real, I think people will crave that. Okay. Another question would be, if you could hang out with one video game character in real life, who would it be, even if it's just outrageous? To be honest, I'd probably keep this real. I wouldn't be hanging out with Sly Cooper or anything like that. But basically, I'd probably hang out with Nathan Drake. And the reason why is because I think he could hold the conversation. I think he's good to go out for a drink with. And the thing is, he can fight. If there's an issue, he can throw down. And never mind the fact that he's a mass murderer and kills hundreds of people, well, hundreds of thousands of people in his games. It's just, that's the way he rolls. If you can get past that, I think Nathan Drake's the guy. Okay, so I want to play a round of which character do you love better? I have a list of characters, and I'm going to go through them all just so you get a feel of my tastes. And the first one, we got Sonic and Mario, the original Bloods and Crips. The thing is like, Nintendo stole my heart with the NES, so I'm going to have to go with Mario, but Sega fans, hear me out. You guys had the harder games. The thing is that Sega splash screen when you died the third time, or how many times lives you have in Sonic, is crushing. The thing is, I always felt in Mario you could find a mushroom, and the thing is, I always felt when I was playing Sonic that those lives were pretty sparse. Next one would be Master Chief or Marcus Phoenix. Two Xbox cats, yes, but the thing is, Marcus, he really brought a grittiness to gaming, especially with that Mad World campaign they put him on. Master Chief, he brought in the Xbox. He is the Xbox. Well, not anymore, but he was the Xbox. With this duo, I'd have to give it to Master Chief, just because of how big he was when he first came in. Like, basically, he made the house of Xbox. But Marcus is no slouch, but I'm going Master Chief on this one. Next one, we got Joanna Dark and Lara Croft. Joanna Dark was pretty cool with the gadgets and a great character. But the thing is, Lara Croft is so huge and she's done so much for the video gaming culture, whether or not it's, a bunch of men child playing a game in which there's a woman, dressed a little bit sexy is another debate. But the thing is, when you say Lara Croft, people know who you're talking about outside games, especially when you have movies like with Angelina Jolie playing her. The thing is, she's become an icon culture compared to Joanna. Like, if you said Joanna Dark to most people, they'd probably be like, who? If you said Lara Croft, not that many people, but more likely to say, yeah, I know Angelina Jolie. Next one would be Dante or Virgil from Devil May Cry. And although Virgil was a pretty cool character, we really thought, but it's always Dante, him and his cheesy ass lines. It's always Dante. Next one, we got Tifa and Aerith and from Final Fantasy. And the thing is, everybody loves Tifa, Tifa's cute, but the thing is, Aerith, the plot, that the part of the plot that involves her, it pushes the story in a different direction, and without her, I don't think it would have meaning. So I'm going Aerith on this. And then the Battle of the Sneaky Boys. I got Sam Fisher and Solid Snake. And though I respect the hell out of Kojima, he's way out there. He puts something interesting. He has something to say on social aspect. Sam Fisher's my guy. I think the guy who does his voice, Jeremy Irons, from what we call it, Star Trek Troopers and V: The Final Conflict. Sam does it for me, especially that multiplayer. That was some good multiplayer with Sam Fisher. And then we have Claire Redfield and Jill Valentine, Resident Evil. I'm gonna go with Jill. I don't know. Just like Jill better. It's tomato. Not much to say about that. So either you're on one team or the other. And then there's my boy Nathan Drake. I already gave it away. Or John Marston from Red Dead. I'm going to give it to Nathan just because we have that close relationship. I've played his game. John Marston, no slouch. Great game, long ass game. Great game. Rockstar always brings their A game. So really appreciate that one. Samus Aran or from Metroid and Aloy. Samus was it was controversial back in the day because you put the effort and played that game, and all of a sudden you saw it was a girl at the end. You're like, no, and then people were telling you that, and it was like, no, that's a lie. And then sure, you see the Nintendo Power with the actual end game on there, and it was a great switcheroo. It was done for the era, but the thing is, it was great to have a female person that was empowering, be the main person in the game. Aloy, on the other hand, very interesting game concept, because when I first heard about Horizon Zero Dawn, it was leaked on NeoGAF, and the idea of having robotic dinosaurs with cave people, it was like, how the hell was this going to work? And it actually worked out quite well. The gameplay was very, very well done. So the thing is, on this one, it's Samus versus Aloy. I'm going to have to go with Aloy. Aloy is it's an interesting character. The story is where it's at, though, and Ted Farrell's a bastard, and for everybody who knows about Ted Farrell, I'd say worse, but yeah, forget Ted Farrow. Next one would be the classic Scorpion versus Sub-Zero, Mortal Kombat. Played a lot of Mortal Kombat as a kid, especially on the Sega Genesis. Arcade, it's hard to walk into an arcade because, there would be the Mortal Kombat masters in there. Just put your quarter and you just might as well throw it away because you're not going to do too well against them. It's going to have to be Scorpion, the classic get over here, especially with the fire in the skull. Like, to me, that's very iconic. I know Sub-Zero's no slouch. He's got his ice powers, and he was really good in the movies. Well, the B movies, they still were good movies in my opinion, because I love a good cheesy B movie. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Scorpion over Sub-Zero. Well, here's two interesting ones. Clementine from The Walking Dead. I played the Walking Dead on the Vita. I think we had the 1,000 Days DLC. So on the one part, and then we had Ellie from The Last of Us. And the thing is, this one was kind of hard because they both have older male figures that they contrast against. Clementine has Lee, and Ellie has Joel. And the thing is, the Ellie and Joel aspect together work very, very well. So for me, it's more compelling story, but separated as a character, maybe because Clementine grows up and becomes a more adult character. You see that growth. I'm going to have to go with Clementine on this one. So yeah, I know, controversial. All right. Bowser or Donkey Kong? The thing is, I met Donkey Kong first at an arcade. And the thing is, I wasn't too impressed with Donkey Kong. He was just a monkey throwing barrels, and Nintendo, glowed him up, gave him some, gave him a tie and gave him a little bit more personality. And people love that tropical freeze. But give me Bowser any day of the week, because that's the guy. That's the villain, Just, if there's a bad guy in Mario, it's Bowser. And the thing is, that's like the guy wearing black in a Western. Like, you have to have that guy, and Bowser's my guy, and that's what I'm going with. I'm going Bowser. All right, and the last one, Princess Peach or Zelda. And the thing is, when I really first played Princess Peach, it was Mario Brothers 2. You were able to select between Toad, Luigi, Mario, and Princess Peach. And it was an interesting character being able to float. And then, later on, Nintendo, she was great in the movie, really great personality. And then there's Princess Zelda. And the thing is, the Breath of the Wild games, like, up the game, like, to basically give her a little bit more character. But the thing is, it's always been a constant in my life, Zelda, from the original games back in the 80s to right now. We're still playing Zelda. To me, it's a very iconic series. So the thing is, my heart says Zelda. Okay. Now, the final question would be, what would you tell your younger self as a gamer now that you're older? And the thing is, I guess, would be that you don't have to play that many games. There's this thing where we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to validate our gamerism by having to beat this game or having to play that game. And the thing is, personally, if you enjoy playing a video game, I don't care if it's on like a mobile phone, it brings you pleasure if you play a game, you are a gamer. No questions asked. If you looked me square in my face and said, two of the worst games on the planet ever made, according to, most people, would Atari 2600 ET and, Gollum from, I forget the name of the developer, but the recent Lord of the Rings Gollum game. If you said to me straight up, those are my favorite games, you said it out with your chest, and I could look you in the eye and there was no lies detected, I would say good for you. The thing is, if that game brought you pleasure and you entertainment and you enjoyed it, then yeah, you're a gamer too. What about grandma? She's on the couch, crushing Candy Crush at level 256. She's half blind, can barely work the iPad, but she's putting in work. And the thing is, I think, grandma's a gamer too. So Yeah, I wouldn't be too concerned about, reputation or trying to like uphold some ideal what a gamer is. And then number two is I'd say try to keep balanced, because uh, as much as we love games, sometimes we get really deep into games. It's like we have to spend time, not necessarily in our real life, but the thing is we should try to spend some kind of like personal life, game life balance, which complement each other. Hang around people that play games too, talk about games, play games together, but, try to stream some balance with your family or your responsibilities. And because sometimes people take gaming a little too far because, stress or situations that, they like to distract themselves. And, healthy sometimes, but a little too much, not too healthy. All right. Well, that's enough babbling for today. If you have any questions or comments, hit them in the comments down below. And then also hit us up at Windsor Game on Twitter or X, whatever it is now. And till later, take it easy.